Subway Surfers is a game I think we're all familiar with. For those of you who have somehow never heard of it, it's a game we basically surf through a subway. Yeah, I know.
It's big brain time.
The game was released all the way back in 2012, and let's just say not much has changed. So, I thought it's time I give it a well-deserved upgrade. I'll start off by improving the controls, the graphics, and finally the gameplay. So first, I got to working on the controls. Since the game is called Subway Surfers, you would think that the hoverboard be the main form of movement, yet it isn't. Running is. So, why is the game called Subway Surfers and not Subway Runners? I don't know, but I'll be fixing that, making the hoverboard the main form of movement in our new game. I got to work on modeling the hoverboard for our game, and it looks kinda like garbage. But don't worry, that's a problem for future me. I wanted the controls to be unique. Unlike the previous game where you just swipe left and right, I gave the player the option to control it with 2 fingers, almost as if they were legs. The code for this was quite messy, but don't worry, I have it all under control. I added movement to the hoverboard, made the turning smoother, and added this adjustable speed variable. Next up, I started working on the environment. At first, I tried finding some train models online, but these bad boys are quite expensive. Now, I'm pretty broke, so my only option would be to rob a bank. Haha, just kidding. That was a joke. FBI, please. So as it turns out, there is a second option, and that would be to model the trains myself. But first, we'll need references. I opened up Google, and found this train model which I replicated in Blender. Looking pretty good. I modeled tracks and obstacles and got them into Unity. In the original game, our friend Jake here can run pretty much endlessly, almost like how my dad ran away and never came back. This is thanks to something known as procedural level generation. It was about time I used my big brain strats to implement this into the game. I simply made the tiles spawn in front of the player based on their position, and made each tile contain a random set of obstacles. We now have procedurally generated levels. Nice. I know what you're thinking. The graphics kinda look like me. Not very good. So I found some PBR textures online, added post-processing, and now the game actually looks playable. And future me also remodeled the hoverboard. Very cool. Now I'm not really that creative, so for the level design I just added, well, buildings. We do have a bit of a problem, however. The board is all alone, which
Kinda reminds me of myself.
since I lack pretty much any autistic skills, I decided to model the tag bot since he has quite simple geometry. And apparently he has a mouth. Our boy is looking kinda stiff, so we better slap on some animations.
I like it cut, G.
Stay dripped to the feet, night ticks on fleet. Fuck with it, fuck me, fuck shorty, fall free. Ain't no killers, I'm just killing all these beats. Ain't no killers, I'm just killing all these beats. Stay dripped.
After adding animations that look like they were made by a small-year-old, we are finally done with the graphics. Currently there's no objective to the game, which kinda sounds just like my life. In the original game, the goal is to beat your high score and collect coins. I added a distance meter for our high score, modeled up a coin, added particles using Unity's particle system, added the UI and got everything into the game. Our game is, well, starting to look like a game.
But you can't just copy the original game.
As you can tell, it's a completely original, good-looking game. So yeah, we basically just have a scuffed copy of the original game. But it's about time we changed that. The first two regional mechanics I'll be adding to the game is jumping and sliding. Yeah, I know. Thank you. What can I say? It's just what I do. Adding jumping to the game is pretty simple. We just have to apply a big upward force. Almost as big as your mind. For the sliding, we have this monstrosity. Bro, looks like he's in the Matrix. The next mechanic I'll be adding is energy, which will be used for jumping and abilities such as dashing. For the dash, the player will be lifted into the air and their speed will be doubled. I also added this charge up effect, and of course, no dash is complete without a trail. When the player runs into an object, pretty much nothing happens. Instead, I want them to turn into a ragdoll, because ragdolls are pretty cool. So I spent way more time than I'd like to admit adding a ragdoll. And as you can see, it works like a chop. Never mind. Yeah, so for some reason the ragdoll didn't want to work with the animations. This could be because of my bad programming, but who knows. So instead, I made the ragdoll a separate object. And right before the player smashes into an object, the player is swapped with the ragdoll, just so he can immediately plop. And as a final touch, I added an end screen, which I definitely didn't yoink from Pew Pew game. Next, we need to add power-ups. The original game had 4 power-ups: shoes, a star thingy, magnet, a jetpack, and whatever this is. Unfortunately, we can't implement any of these into our game, except the magnet and the double jump. But I also had to add new power-ups. First, we have battery, which restores your energy. Next, we have watch, which for some reason slows down time. And last but not least, we have bean. Yeah, I don't know what this one does. With the power-ups done and dusted, I've finished up the main menu and we can finally move on to the gameplay. And yeah, if you're wondering, I'll switch over to a desktop version just so the gameplay doesn't look like this. But thank you for watching, very cool, and hope you enjoy.